What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and it's a pretty big day in Raid. The Doom Tower, the new piece of content that they've been teasing for so long, is finally live in the game. So we're going to take a kind of a live look in at the Doom Tower, and I'm also going to give my thoughts on it just initially from playing through it a little bit. It did go live this morning, and I was unable to do anything that early because of work and just being busy all day. So it resets every day at the normal reset time, so I played through the first bit of the tower this morning, and then figured I'd make this video here this evening after reset. So just before we get started, I am on my main account, which is about level 65 here, and just to kind of show you guys my roster here, just so you can kind of get an idea of what my champion roster kind of looks like. This is going to give you a little bit of an idea where you kind of stand going into the Doom Tower. You can see, I've got quite a few level 60s here that have their masteries done, have their books done, have okay gear. My gear is not amazing, but it's not, like that bad either. And I just want to kind of give you this so you can kind of get a little bit of perspective on what your roster might be able to do. You can see we've got a bunch of legendaries here. Once you get into the Doom Tower, because I did notice something when I tried to play it earlier today, and also it's going to lead into another discussion about kind of who this is aimed at. So let's just go in, and of course you'll find the Doom Tower all the way on the right side here, and you can see I'm up to floor number 16. I did play a couple floors earlier, but I saved the last 5 keys for the day, and also the second secret room to kind of show you guys a little bit. So you can see here we started at the first floor. We went up through. There was the first secret room here, which was all rare champions, and you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to be going up against here. We're looking at all level 136 star characters on these waves, and the difficulty on the normal Doom Tower is going to start at about 120 6-star. This is right around mid-range of faction war difficulty, so that can give you a little bit of an idea what you're going up against. And basically what it is you get 10 of these gold keys, and each floor costs a key to play, and you have 10 silver keys. Each secret room is going to cost 1 silver key to play that secret room, and then you can actually win 2 silver keys from that secret room, which then gives you 11 total, which you can use to farm the boss. Now these keys do reset. You can see it's here 21 hours until it refills. Every reset you're going to get filled back to 10 keys. You can't save keys to take forward with you either, so if you don't play all 10 of your keys by reset, you're going to lose them. Now one really important thing to notice here too is if you are going to do the hard tower, these keys are going to carry over in terms of you have to use the same set of keys for whichever tower you do. So if you come into the hard tower and do 5 floors, you're only going to have 5 keys to do the normal tower, so they're shared between the 2 towers. So if you start off the day like a lot of people did today, the tutorial kind of made it seem like you had to play the first floor of the normal tower. So if you did that, you wouldn't be able to get to the boss on day 1 today with the hard tower, because you'd only have 9 keys left to get to floor number 9. So that's something to keep in mind when you're going. But as I'm about to show you here, the hard tower is not going to be for most of us. The hard tower here, in fact, I'll kind of just show you guys some of my roster earlier. We'll go in here and take a look. You can see it's fully ascended 250 starting stage. This is basically level 21, 20 in-game faction war. The people that have beaten faction wars all the way through and have unlocked Lydia the Death Siren are probably going to be the people that are going to be able to do this. Now, depending on where you are, how many months your account's along, how far along you are in-game, you might be able to do a couple floors here. But even watching some of the big raid streamers and content creators today, they were struggling through some of these, first couple floors. This hard tower, I'm going to show you real quick. I got pretty much my best 5 in right here, and I'm going to do a key here so you guys can kind of see how this goes. Now, this team is only about 123,000 power. The teams I saw today that were struggling with this were 250, 200,000 power. So you can tell right away, even at the level where my account is, where I've been playing for almost 7 months, and I have a pretty good amount of champions at level 60 with masteries, with books, with decent gear. we're going to get absolutely annihilated on this very first floor of the hard tower. We cannot even get past the first wave. I've tried all day, all kinds of different combinations of characters, and we managed to kill a few people here and there, but we literally cannot get through this very first floor. You know, I was kind of disappointed because, you know, I spent all weekend building up my Elgato because there's so many duplicate characters here. I thought she would do really well, but the problem is they're just too strong. You know, my Elgato, she's one of my best legendaries. She's level 60. She's got all her masteries. She's fully ascended, and she can do a pretty good bit of damage here. But we just don't have enough to even come close to beating like this first wave. It's pretty crazy. You can see here she'll be the last one standing, so that means they'll prolong this a little bit here. But this is just to kind of show you what you're going to be going up against. And I believe if you do get through this initial wave, there's a wave of 5 Dracos right behind it. So it's really difficult content. If you go into the hard tower, don't expect to really be able to do any of it unless you are extreme endgame. You've beaten all the faction war stages. You've got level 16 gear, 6-star accessories, 6-star gear. You know, the only good thing is if you lose, you don't lose a key. So. But that's just to kind of show you how hard the hard tower is going to be. It's pretty crazy. And unfortunately, you can't really see what any of the rewards are here. But I'm assuming the hard tower is going to have the better rewards. It will let you go all the way up to the top. And the crazy thing is, this is kind of like when you go through this campaign stages and you get rewards for doing each section. If you manage to beat this hard tower, which is going to be an insane task, your in-game, your reward up at the very top is a sacred shard. And it's like, to me, like, this is something that's going to be, I think, harder than Faction Wars 21 for all the factions. And you only get a sacred shard for clearing the whole thing. Now, granted, it resets every 4 weeks, so you get to, but I think there should be, the first time you clear it, there should be something a little bit more impressive than getting a sacred shard. But that's just my opinion. You go into normal, and the rewards are not quite as glamorous, and that's something I'm going to talk about here after we go through and play some of these stages, just to kind of give my thoughts on why I'm not quite sure this content is designed for players that are right around where I am in this game. But let's go ahead and just, before we get into that, let us go down here back to where we are, and let's go ahead and play through. So I saved the secret room. I'll show you just a normal floor here, and you see this kind of my team. I've got Raglan, I've got Elgato, mainly for all the duplicate champs you're going to face in this. She is an excellent champion for this because she has an ability that blocks their cooldowns and things like that. I've got Rosin for a little bit of AoE turn meter reduction. Elaine is basically my best DPS character, and then I've got Apothecary just to kind of speed boost and provide a little bit of extra healing. And then Raglan can revive if we get to that point. So let's go ahead and just jump in here. And I beat the Magma Dragon on normal, was not too bad. So I didn't really have too much trouble with the first boss when I played earlier today. But you can see here, this team that got absolutely destroyed when I tried to do the hard is actually going to go through these fairly easily without too much trouble. So, you know, if you've been playing the game for 6 or 7 months, you should have a roster pretty capable of getting up through the normal stages. And so far I haven't really run into any that have hurt me too bad. Now, on one of my alternate accounts where I've only been playing for about 3 months on that account, I did have some trouble getting up through the first 10 floors or so. So this is going to be something where it's very roster dependent. It depends on how many champions you have, what kind of synergy they have with each other, and what your gear looks like. If you're an early game player, this is most likely not going to be something you're going to be able to go very far in. So you see there we got 20 lesser spirit potions, which, that's okay. That's fine. It cuts down on potion farming a little bit. And so we've got a couple more. There's some energy, some glyphs. Let's go ahead and just go through here. We'll do the secret room in a minute. So we're just going to stick with the same team and see how they do. Since we have Elgato in a pretty good spot, you see how she increases cooldowns for everybody. And then Rosin hits him with the decreased turn meter. So the whole goal here really is to prevent the other team from getting to go with this composition that I'm running. It's basically, and then we have Raglan and Apothecary to boost our own speed so that we can take more turns. But You know, the cool thing about this Doom Tower is it is going to allow you to use a lot more of your roster, and there's going to be characters, especially on the boss levels, that you don't really use that much in the regular game, that all of a sudden you're going to find yourself needing to build up and use. Tila Gourmain, for example, is probably one of the worst legendaries according to most people that play this game, but her kit's got a ton of utility for several of the bosses, so you're going to definitely wind up needing to build and acquire some characters you might not already have. Alright, so here we go. We got the charm for the forge. And the forge is really what this kind of centers around, because, and I hate how it scrolls you back up every time here, but the forge has a new set of artifacts that are specifically for the Doom Tower. It appears that some of them are going to be instrumental in helping you progress to the Doom Tower. But the problem is, in the normal one, you're only going to get materials to create the 3 to 4 star versions, which is why I kind of said there's a little bit of an issue with who this is aimed at, because where my account is right now, I'm 6 to 7 months into the game, I don't need 3 or 4 star gear. I'm actually at a point in this game where if the gear piece that drops from me isn't like a spectacular 5-star piece, I'm usually deleting it. It's got to be 5-star or above. It can't have any flat stats. Like I'm at the point where I'm getting very picky about what kind of gear I use on my account. So that's the dilemma I'm running into with the Doom Tower. Is it's cool and it's awesome to have new content to play and new stuff to theory craft around, but the rewards so far I've seen on a normal Doom Tower are just not really that impressive to me. Where my account is, like, I don't need 3-star chickens. I don't need charms and materials to make 3 to 4-star gear at the forge. So, and if I manage to get all the way to the end, I think I get 2 void shards, which again are not super hard to acquire if you're running brutal or nightmare clan boss. So really, for me, it's like the rewards just, I don't know if they're going to justify a whole lot of attention to this. The only thing that I'm really kind of excited for is that in the secret rooms, as you'll see in a minute, you do get champion fragments. There are, I believe, 3 epic champions that go with the normal tower, and there are 3 legendaries that go with the hard tower. You can only get these champions by playing the tower, by getting their fragments in the secret room. So I believe you can get 36 fragments per each Doom Tower period. So in order to get one of these epic champions, it's going to take you probably about 3 months. And if you're efficient at it, you'll be able to get all 3 on either side after about 9 months, 9 to 12 months probably. So it's a bit of a long haul. And that in itself is a little interesting too, because you have this length of time it takes to get these champions that they're just introducing into the game, which have some pretty cool kits. It's nice, we got 75 energy. Talk about that here in a second. But it looks like, did we make it to the one more to the boss? Looks like we'll get a glyph on this one. Ooh, we got double Madam Ceres, so that's why it's a good thing we have L guys here. I'm trying to lost my train of thought, but okay, yeah. So these champions have pretty good kits, but my kind of worry with that is it's going to take 3 months or so to get one of these new epics, and they said they want to introduce almost 300 new champions this year. So my hope is that they don't dilute the pool enough to where these champions you're working toward in the Doom Tower kind of become an afterthought and just really aren't worth it anymore. So, you know, that'll just be something where we'll see if it winds up being worth it or not. We need to kill these Madam Ceres quick here so that we don't get buff removal. But it looks like this one's getting pretty tough here. But that's going to be the thing with this. The difficulty is going to ramp up the higher you get into it. So, and you can see, like I said, you know, the length of time I've been playing on this account, I thought I'd be able to do at least a little bit of the hard Doom Tower. So when I went in there at first and just got destroyed on the first level, I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. Something's got to be going on here. So I ran it again like 3 or 4 times, tried all the different champs I had, you know, ran my clan boss team, ran some faction war teams, just trying to get something to happen, and it just was not happening for me. So it looks like we'll be able to clear this one here. Alright, so we got a 3-star glyph. And again, this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, this is stuff I can get in faction wars without much effort pretty much every day. So unless these rewards really ramp up toward the top of the normal tower, you know, it's just, to me, not super worth it. So this is a spider boss. I wonder if we can see. I'm not quite sure. Here's the cool thing. If you click this little info thing up top, it'll actually allow you to come in and you can look at all the information. And here's, like I was telling you, the secret rooms. You get these champion shards here to get the new champs. We'll take a look at them before we get out here. So let's look here. Nether Spider. Looks like she's got poison debuffs. She's immune to, wow, toxins. There's little spider links too. Okay, I was just checking because one of the spiders can revive herself with like 50% HP, and I'm just trying to make sure that's not the one we're getting ready to fight here. I'm trying to see if... Okay, this doesn't look too bad. Counterattacks whenever an enemy decreases her turn meter, so we have to kind of be careful with that. And we'll ignore 100% defense. So each of these bosses, you're going to kind of have to look at what they can do, because they are going to be pretty tough here. Alright, we're just going to go in here and kind of just do it. I got to be careful because I can't really use Rosin because he's going to decrease turn meter. Which is not something... Let me put Norag in here because he can block buffs. And where is... She's Spirit Affinity, which is going to be... Okay, so we want more magic champions. That's good. Then you go ahead and use Tila. Why not? And let's see who else we've got here. Let's go back up toward the... This created monster might be pretty good here. Let's throw him in there and see what happens. Alright. This will be trial by error because I haven't fought this boss yet, so let's go see how... Oh, I forgot we have to go through a wave to get there too. That's the waves on the bosses though. You'll see these guys are only level 100. It's a little bit easier to get through these guys. But we're using some of our better champions here, so hopefully this isn't too bad. I have a feeling this boss is going to be a little bit tougher. The Magma Dragon was not that difficult. Okay, so it seems like we're doing a decent amount of damage. Oh, we got a decreased turn meter. How did that happen? So the boss designs are pretty cool too. I really like how they did these new bosses. Okay, remove the debuff. She heals herself up pretty good too. This is going to be, we may have to use a different team here. Do this again. Alright, we got an HP burn on there. That might help a little bit. I'm just kind of watching to see what kind of mechanics she's doing here. Because a lot of this is going to be, like I said, trial by error. You just kind of have to figure out what champions you have that you can use that are going to help you. There's a lot of poison here. Someone who can clear all the debuffs would be, actually like a Draconis would be really good here to clear all those debuffs. Probably need a little bit more damage too. Doesn't seem like we're doing a whole lot of damage to her. But if we lose anybody, Raglan does have the revive, so that usually helps. Alright, got another HP burn there from Tila. These little spiders are kind of nasty here. Yeah, see now in the hard Doom Tower, I can imagine this fight would be an absolute nightmare. Like here, we're kind of just surviving because we have better champions. You get into the hard tower, you're gonna have to actually pay a really close attention to all of the mechanics that go along with it. Alright, that'll do it. Nice. Alright, cool. So you can see we got some silver and we got 36 of these nether eggs, which are rare artifact crafting at the forge, which, like I said, not really what we need at this point in our account, but that's something we can talk about a little bit later. Alright, so the cool thing now, we are actually done with our keys for today. We can't get any more gold keys, and we've finished the first 20 floors. We did 10 earlier, and then at reset we did 10. So now what you can do is you go back and you've got your secret room. Now the secret rooms are all going to have a different mechanic. This one here is actually, you can only use champions from the Bannerlord faction. The first one, as you guys remember, was you could only use rare champions. So Bannerlords are not one of my better factions, but thankfully I do have some decent characters with them. We'll see if this works. So we've got Raglan, we've got 2 Lordly Legionaries. I got the one you get as log and reward, and then one that I got as, I think it came out of an ancient shard. We got this guy here who's not great, but he's all we've got. Oh, no, Valerie's not leveled, so we're going to go ahead and put Oathbound in. The gear on these guys I'm not super sure about, so this is going to be really interesting to see if I can actually do this. So let's go in and see what happens. The secret rooms, again, this is where you're going to get the shards for the new champions. So that's why it's important to do these. You can see there, he got one shot. I mean, he's down immediately, but he gets revived and immediately gets killed again. So this may be, and you're not going to be able to do all these secret rooms, just depending on what the qualifications are. Like, we're having a real tough time here, even on wave 1. I can already tell this is going to be pretty difficult. But the cool thing is, you do have all month. You have the 4 weeks to build up your team. So, for example, you know, if I came back and worked on Valerie and got her to level 50 and got this guy some decent gear, I might be able to come through and do this. But, you know, you can see this is going to be pretty tough. We already lost 2 people. So, we're having a tough time. We managed to get through 2 of their guys. It's all going to depend on if Raglan can resurrect somebody. But, you know, like I said, this is the other thing too. This is going to be like faction wars. It's going to take a long time to complete. And for me, the question is whether or not the normal tower rewards are going to be worth it. Now, my free-to-play account, I actually did get through the first 10 floors. My free-to-play account is just a little bit over 80 days in. And I do have 4 level 60s, but I don't have much beyond that. But I was able to clear the first 10 floors, and actually the rewards on my free-to-play account are very helpful. I can use chickens there. I can use 3- and 4-star gear in some cases, but that's why it's kind of weird, because I think this Doom Tower is not necessarily going to be for people that are like in the mid game, who are still trying to get through the last, like, you know, stage 16 to 20 of dungeons, or still trying to work on Nightmare Clan boss, or still trying to get through the middle of faction war stages. I don't really think that this tower is going to give you too much that's going to be useful. But like I said, it's new content. It's something cool to play. It's going to allow you to use different champions. It's going to allow you to test out, you know, different compositions. So that part of it is pretty fun. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get through this. This is keep losing that guy. He doesn't really do much. I don't even know if I have gear on him. That might be why he keeps falling. But this may be a case where we just have to build up Valerie, level her up to 50, and then bring her in here, and she might help out a little bit. Unless Raglan can kind of solo this by herself, because she's pretty strong. And you see that decreased turn meter, that's always a big thing, except on some of the bosses, but it's going to be good for the mobs to keep them from taking too many turns. We're slowly, kind of like a war of attrition here, we're just very slowly chipping away. We keep getting a revive, so Raglan is such a great champion. I'm really shocked. I even pulled her off of a non-void event too, so it was kind of just a purely luck void shard pull with her. I had you have like less than 1% chance basically. And we pulled her, and she's been a huge character to get on my account, so it's been a lot of fun getting to build her up. And as you can see here, if we didn't have her on this team, we would have been done in round 1. But this is already, you look at it, 3:31 already. This is taking way too long. This video is going to wind up running way too far over what I wanted it to, but so at least give you a good look at the Doom Tower, you know, and you can kind of judge, you know, where your account is, kind of comparatively to where I am, and see how it's going to allow you to prepare and allow you to play through it. But I guess too, it's a good measure of, you know, your account progression, is how far can you go in the tower, you know, what kind of champions do you have. It might kind of show you where you need to work on your roster a little bit, and I think it's going to help you in faction wars too, because with the Doom Tower you're going to have to develop more champions, which is going to hopefully, you know, allow you to develop more of your factions. So should be a lot of fun. But like I said, you know, I don't like to be negative, especially the first day the new content's out, but the rewards just on normal tower seem a little lackluster. Especially for the level of, you know, kind of champs you need to go in with here. Let's see if we can focus her down quickly. That would be good. Let me just, I always forget I can click on people. That poor guy, he has died so many times. He's like, stop resing me, stop resing me. I keep getting killed. Oh, that's too bad. Alright, she's down. Let's go after the other one here because I know she's got some poison damage on her. Now, oddly enough, a lot of these are like my Fire Knight champ. You know, the 2 Lordly Legionaries and Raglan, I use them on Fire Knight. Let's see if we can get a revive here from her again. We're going to need it. There we go. That's such a huge ability. Let's see, we need to take her down. We just don't have a lot of damage in Banner. Like, when I saw Banner Lords, I knew it was going to be tough, because I was just like, I don't have much in the Banner Lords. Probably one of my worst factions. I have one of their good legendaries, but really that's it. Alright, he got revived again. Let's see if he can survive a little bit longer this time. Or if they'll go after, yeah, they'll go after him. Alright, we're slowly and steadily doing this here. We're almost to 6 minutes in, so it's a bit of a slog. But again, this gives you a nice kind of live look at it. Kind of see how much it's going to take. Alright, one more should do it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so secret room down. We got the chest. We got 3 shards of Archmage helmet. And you can kind of see this is one of the new champions from the Doom Tower. He looks pretty cool. Their designs are always pretty good, and his kit's pretty good too. Fills his turn meter by 10%. Fills it by 20 if the attack is critical. Attacks all other enemies if the first attack is critical. With stun debuff. Decreases turn meter. Yeah, so these guys are going to be pretty amazing. 30 increase speed buff. Increase crit rate. Increase crit damage. Immune to turn meter decrease. Wow, this guy is like an apothecary on steroids. Let's see how many books he takes. Really not too many. This guy is going to definitely be worth trying to get. That's kind of like what I said for like my level account. The main focus for me is going to be doing these secret rooms and getting these shard champions because that's going to be the main goal here. I mean, that guy's got an incredible kit. But you see there, we also got 2 silver keys. So now what we can do with those silver keys, I'm not going to do it right now because this video is already running pretty long, is you can go back and replay the boss. And you can replay the boss stage to get the crafting materials. So that's why you want to use those, and then I'll show you out here. So there's all these new sets. There's Affinity Breaker, Untouchable, Fatal, and Frostbite. You can see each set is going to correspond to a certain boss. So Fatal set is with the Magma Dragon, but you can see here again, all we can craft is going to be 3 to 4 star, which I don't need 3 to 4 star. And then so the boss we just did is going to give us the Affinity Breaker set. You can see to craft the better stuff, you're going to need the epic and legendary materials, which are going to come from the hard Doom Tower. So, I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong on that, and you'll be able to get at least a 4 to 5 star gear from the higher levels of the regular Doom Tower, but we'll see what happens. And then if you go into the summoning portal now, you can see it's got all of the new champions. If you want to come in here and take a look, the ones you can get from hard are going to be Thea the Tomb Angel, Eros the Soul Cage, Gomlock Skyhide, and then from the normal Doom Tower you can get Rian the Conjurer, Akoth the Seared, and then of course Archmage Helmet, which we have 6 shards for already. So that is kind of it for this look at the Doom Tower. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of live look into the gameplay of it. I know this went a little bit longer than I had hoped for. I didn't think that secret room was going to be that difficult, but at least I gave you a look at kind of what to expect when you go in those. You're going to need specific sets of champions. You know, the room before that was all rare champions. And the cool thing is, too, with those rooms, once you do them, you can pretty much go back and replay any level on the tower you're not going to get rewards from it or use keys, but once you've beaten it, you can go back and replay it. So if you want to test team compositions, if you want to, test out specific abilities of your champions, you can replay those and kind of find that out, what works better. Same thing with the boss. You can replay the bosses, using those silver keys and try to figure out, better strategies for each one. So kind of some cool mechanics, and definitely a fun new piece of content that is in the game with the Doom Tower. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.